Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Y'all spin a vortex up in the chat if I can be heard. All praises to the great spirit, the creator, the God maker, that always was, is, and never shall be. Mighty and great spirit, mighty and great I am. It's your little brother Malaki Macabee. G still cooking. Y'all see the topic, open chop session. Deity danger. Is your God, oh Lord, fall? Dang, snap. Y'all wipe your feet off at the door. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go ahead and cook. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all know. Y'all already know. Young Cooper, Sister Tabitha's in the building. Love, love, love. My sister Tikva is in the building. Nothing but love and life, family. Nothing but love and life. My brother Bishop F.G. Keezy, Daisy is in the building. Love and life, family. I got my brother, my comrade, my brother in arms, T-Bro Israel is in the building. What's the word? You know your brother, man, that much regular. Y'all see the topic. We ain't here to hold hands and kick hands either. And the light of the greater go forward. Permeate every square inch of your body from the crown of the head to the sole of your feet. None can stop the march. None. Away. We got my brother Prince Judavon, salute in the building. Y'all go like, subscribe, share. Little brother putting that pain in. Brother putting that pain in. Hopping on these platforms, just lighting the whole strip up. I'm like, look at bro. It's easy money for him too. Easy money. Shout out to our sister Range Shape Jones is in the building. What's the word, sis? Nothing but love and life, family. Nothing but love and life. We're going to talk about the third order. Is your God or Lord false? Dang, don't spill your coffee. Don't spill your coffee. What's the worst that can happen? You find out you've been going the wrong way and make a change. That's a good thing last time I took. Huh? Shout out to my brother Salam Zion 777 in the building. What's the word, Just me, my brother's in the building. What's the word, James John is in the building. What's the word? I hit that like button, subscribe button, share button. Share that out with your meatballs, your pastors, your emails, whoever the hell you think need to hear this. Share it on out. On the real, it is almost 20, what they call 2026, and it don't make no sense for you to be deceived in this hour, man. I'll get you some understanding.
Jehovah is as near this day as in the time of the ancients. Put yourself in order, becoming one with him. And no book is so easily read as his created universe. Inspiration comes less by books than by what Jehovah wrote. His worlds read him and his works. Frame your speech and your thoughts for him. He will answer you in your own behavior and in the happiness of your soul. Great wisdom cannot be attained in a day, nor purity and strength to overcome temptation, till the growth is from the foundation. The fool will say, the sacred books are no more than man of his own knowledge could write. Yet he has not wisely imitated the power of the words of your God. Let him do this well, and behold, he will also declare my words are from me. Yes, he will recognize them wherever found. It is the will and wish of your God that all men become constitutionally capable of receiving and comprehending the highest life, and that they shall no longer depend upon any priest, church, oracle, holy book, or upon consulting the spirits, and that their behavior may make the earth a place of peace, with long life to all people, for the glory of Jehovah. To his Etherian gods and goddesses, Jehovah said, as you have founded arcs of light in my Etherian heavens, to determine the travel of my corporeal worlds, so shall my God of the earth inspire mortals to build lighthouses for man's ships that travel on the oceans, and those who travel in the ships. And those on the land shall know when a ship nears the port, even as you see my traveling earth approaching the place of Cosmic. For this shall be an illustration to mortals, that I have appointed cycles of times and dawns of times, with gods and goddesses to superintend my creations in tenderness and love, lest by chance man becomes despondent, saying, alas, Jehovah did not provide in wisdom commensurate with the magnificence of his creations. Behold, the time draws near when the nations of the earth shall course around the whole earth in ships, crossing the seas and oceans to all the places I created.
Peace. This your host, Selah Shalom, and this is the Cosmon Teachings in the Words of Jehovah and His Angel Ambassadors from the Cosmon Bible, or WASPI. And the topic of discussion today is called The Introduction to the Wars Against Jehovah, which will be done in a series of videos. Now, these wars against Jehovah coincide with the 23rd arc cycle after the creation of man, the Ark of Spita. The time frame is within 3953 BC to 1553 BC. Which is the length of the 23rd arc cycle. At the beginning of every arc cycle of 3,000 years, new inspirations come upon the races of man, and new revelations and inventions are revealed to the races of man. The four great prophets, Abraham of Arabia, Brahma of India, Po of China, and Iwata of North Gautama, or North America, were the four lawgivers at the beginning of the 23rd arc cycle. As I read the stories of these four prophets, God gave them instructions on how to live and how to live separate from the king's people. And they had their own territories of living, which were unlike the king's people, where the king's people having great temples and government societies. Now, in order to understand truly what happened on earth during this time period, we must first understand what took place in the heavens during this time period. First, let me explain brief the order of the heavenly government so you can understand how the system operates. First, you have the Creator, who is the overseer of all. The Creator is the voice and the light, not in the image of anything he created. Incomprehensible is the Creator. Now, for each planetary world, you have a heavenly government designed by the Creator, and these heavenly governments are ran by the angels. Just as we on earth run our earthly government, just as we have elections to elect a man to be president, so does the angels in heaven have elections to see who will be chief ruler in office. And the name of the chief is called God. So God is just a title bestowed on an angel to have dominion and rulership of the heavenly government for a term or period, just as a president have dominion and rulership over the country for his term. And this is where we get the government structure from, the angels, designed by the Creator. Now, just as the president has an administration to help him, likewise with the heavenly government of God, He has an administration of angels called Lord Gods to help run the government with him. The term Lord God or Lord Gods is a title bestowed on an angel who is second in rank of the heavenly government and rules over continents and countries, just as the president is chief ruler and the vice president is co-ruler, likewise with the Lord God or Lord Gods ruling with God. And these Lord Gods help make up the administration of the heavenly government of God. Below the Lord Gods are the Lords, who are responsible for earthly affairs amongst humans. They are responsible for establishing great nations amongst humans. And below the Lord Gods are the guardian angels over humans, whose duty it is to keep record of every human's life from their birth to their death is the responsibility of the guardian angel. So this is just a brief description of the ranks and order of angels in the heavenly government, no different than the ranks and orders of people in our earthly government. And in the OWASP, it makes this plain to understand. It's not complicated at all. It gives you these different ranks of angels so you have a clear understanding who is who. Like, when we read the Bible, it says Lord God, then it says Lord, then it says God. It got us believing that all this is the same God, but these are different ranking angels. And the OWASP clarifies this, while in the King James Version, it doesn't have no clarification who is who. Now, when you hear the term false God, that is to say, when a host of angels, one being chief leader, decide to separate from the true order of God established by the Creator, those angels come up with their own ideology and doctrine and set up their own heavenly kingdom with the same settings as mentioned above. And this is how you get your false gods, false Lord gods, and false lords, and false guardian angels, and false prophets, proclaiming to be the Creator in the image of man. And these false gods inspire humans with their false doctrines, and tribes of men begin to proclaim this false doctrine, shedding blood in the name of his false God. And this is a briefing of how the wars in heaven and earth are started. Now, this time period within the 23rd arc cycle is the beginning of the Kemetic dynasties and the Sumerian dynasties, the Harappa and the Indus Valley civilizations, and the birth of the Hebrew Israelites. It is from this time period that most historians trace civilization back to. In Kemet, the first pharaoh to start the first dynastic is Menes, which time period historians place at about 3100 BC, which would fall within the 23rd arc cycle. It is during this arc cycle, the 23rd arc cycle, that the pyramids of Kemet were built up, along with the pyramids across the world. It is during this time that the names Lord God, Darius, Zeus, Osiris, Ashtaroth, Baal, and other deities were worshipped in place of the Great Spirit, the Creator. In this series of videos, I'm going to show how a false angel by the name of Anu Hasaj began these wars against Jehovah, attempting to overthrow the heavenly government of true God, Son of Jehovah, and how these heavenly wars amongst angels inspired earthly wars amongst humans, which were the battle of 1,000 years within that arc cycle. I'm going to show how Osiris the False of Kemet came to power and the origin of the rites of Anubi. I'm going to show how the deities or the angels, Ashtaroth and Baal, became worshipful names on the earth. And this is the time period when the worship of the Creator as the unseen master is banished and replaced with idol worship, which is the image of man in a representation of the Creator, beginning with the Egyptians and Sumerians, who are highly responsible for the worshiping of deities or idols, and is responsible for some of the idols today being worshipped, such as Amen, Baal, the Mother Mary with child, which is really a Set and Horus. These deities originated during the 23rd arc cycle after the creation of man, the Ark of Spita. As a reader of the King James Bible, it doesn't explain the difference between God, and Lord. They have the reader believing that these ranking angels are the Creator, when in truth, these are angels in position of government, not to be confused with the Creator. In the Hebrew tongue in Genesis, the God of the 7-day creation is Elohim, which means gods, with the S at the end. So in the original Hebrew Genesis story of creation, it was a host of gods called Elohim, and not one God as we believe the Genesis creation story to be. If it was one God in the Hebrew, it would have read Elah created and not Elohim created. In Genesis 1 Verse 26, where it states, "Let us make man," I'm going to show how these errors came about stemming from Egypt and Sumer, how the Hebrews just incorporated these stories in their doctrine or Torah. And it is in this same time period that the stories of Genesis was created, with the stories of Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel and Noah, and other stories as we have it in the King James Bible. It all originated in Egypt and Sumer, and I'm going to show how the stories of Genesis is not Hebrew in origin, but Egyptian and Sumerian. And the Hebrews incorporated it in their doctrine centuries after. And the 23rd arc cycle ends with the coming of Moses. And with that, I'd like to say peace and blessings and catch you on the next documentary of the Wars of Jehovah. Shalom.
Oh way, oh way, oh way. If y'all getting some understanding so far, that was Selah Shalom University. You know, y'all go over there and support our brothers, Selah Shalom TV. Like, subscribe, share, go to his playlist. Crack open that or watch me get some understanding. If y'all got some understanding off there, y'all go ahead and drop a 12,000 in the chat. Y'all see the topic, open chop session, deity, danger, is your God or Lord false? We can never, talk about these things enough. Especially being what we are, wherever anybody's talking about devotion to the deity, the Lord, the God, or whoever. You dig? We always got to make a distinction between the Almighty, the Creator, the Maker of a God, and a God or a Lord, or because there's a lot of confusion. It's a lot of confusion. You understand? But what I'm seeing in this hour is a lot of people starting to make a clear-cut distinction, and folks are starting to trip off the characteristics and all this type of stuff. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. You dig? So let's get into some of this. I see y'all all in the chat. Nothing but love and light. See y'all in the chat. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's always good to get with the family and go and drop some light bombs everywhere. You feel me? Yeah, 12,000. Okay. We all good. So look, let me stop this real quick. Hold on. Gang. CGG is created gang. Gang is an acronym. GANG. Gods and Nirvanian goddesses. So we're the creators, gods and Nirvanian goddesses in training. Basically sons and daughters of the Almighty. So gang ain't like, we out here gang banging. We God banging, no. We God tripping, I tell you that much. But no, we don't glorify, gang culture and none of that. CGG is created gang, or you may hear us say creator gang. The creator, the Almighty, that always was, is, and ever shall be. The omnipotent, all-powerful, omniscient, all-knowledge, omnipresent or ever-present, fill of all space and place and unseen, not in the image and figure of anything that he created. You did everywhere, within and without. So that's what that stands for. You know what I mean? Number, love, and light. Let me share some of this with y'all. Good to see y'all in the building. BC in the building. What's the word up? Miss Looking Ass is in the building. What's the word? Mama Harya is in the building. My brother Spirit Led One. Man, y'all in the building today. That's what's up, man. Hit that like and subscribe and share and all that good stuff. Let me go ahead and bring this on up. I got to share the entire screen for this one. Some of the things we do over here get people spilling coffee and, sometimes they get the low running. I got to share the entire screen for this one, though. All right. That's right. Sometimes we got to go into the bag, you know what I mean? Sometimes you got to go into your bag and just go ahead and blow the dust off something and get it cracking. The old tools is just as good, baby. The old tools is just as good. Dang, Malaki. Why you always starting stuff? I swear to everybody be acting, man. You always starting stuff. You always challenging us. You always, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. What you mean? If I ain't doing that, what I'm doing? Let's talk about it and put it on the table. And since everybody's spiritual today, since everybody has arrived and achieved nirvana, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Hold on. I got to, hold on one second. Dang. Go here real quick. Take this off. Let's see. All right, and then go back here. Yeah, since everybody's spiritual today, you got this thing figured out, well then let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. These be the things everybody claim they, they really want to get down with, but when we get to asking certain questions and putting certain things on the floor, on the table or whatever, now it's scratching, it's stuttering. You know what I mean? You want to get all mad and it be like, nah, look, it's deeper than that. Let's rap about it. All right, what is the character? And that's the thing. Salute to my brothers and my sisters, man. But it's one thing about CGG. We got documents and presentations lined up for eons. So it's like whenever anybody feeling like they froggy or want some spiritual hands put on them, it's never a problem. It ain't. You know what I mean? The so-called conscious community is still in the shamble right now. You dig? It's all types of crazy madness going on. It's active out there. You dig? But what I've noticed is everybody's steering clear of the creator game. All of them are. You know what I mean? We've been told that they've been told to avoid us like the plague. Yeah. Now watch this right here. All right, let's read some of this and let's get some understanding. All right. We're talking about deity danger. We're warning you. All right. Because some of your people at church right now are praising the Lord or praising God. How you know your God ain't an idol? How you know? Have you ever asked yourself the question, what if the deity I'm devoted to is an idol? What is an idol? Like you never even go take just a few extra steps to get the ball rolling up here to be like, oh, okay. You feel me? Let me really investigate this thing. After all, we talking about God, right? Right? Who we all supposed to go see after we die. Whenever we get to asking certain questions about the deity, you get frustrated and get mad. I want to go to war. I want to spill blood. All right, so look at this right here. It says, what is the character of the creator is your God and idol? All right, well, let's talk about some characteristics. Omnipotent, meaning what? All powerful. Let's say right there, Merriam-Webster. You see the link. One who has unlimited power or authority. One who has unlimited power or authority. One who is omnipotent or all powerful. If the one that we call the creator or the almighty, right? Who you call God. If you know of that deity to be all powerful, then drop a 10,000 in the chat. Like whoever you worshiping, shouldn't it be all powerful? We can slow roll you. We'll walk you down. We ain't gonna speed through it. We'll walk you right on down. If the one you identify and pray to in your prayer breath as God, who we call creator, the maker of God, but I'm pretty sure you mean the supreme being as well. Is that God you praying to and giving all your devotion to all powerful, meaning there is no weakness? There ain't nothing he can't do. If that is a characteristic of your God or deity or who you call creator, put a 10,000 in the chat. Next up on the block, omniscient. That means you know everything. All knowledge, omniscient, possessed of universal or complete knowledge. Know the ledge. If the one you identify as the Creator, the Almighty, who you call God in your prayer breath, Lord, do they know everything? Are they all powerful, unlimited power or authority, possessed of universal or complete knowledge? If the one you calling God knows everything or has all knowledge, drop a 8,000 in the chat. So we're going to identify today. You'll find out today if you stick around if the one you call God or the Lord that you've been praying to in your prayer breath is an idol or not. But you got to stick around, though. You know what I mean? Stop being so scared. I thought you wasn't given the spirit of fear. I thought you wasn't given the spirit of fear. Stick around. Let's put the God on the chopping block and see if it's a deity or an idol. Who is this calling me? Now put the deity on the chopping block and see if it's an idol or not. All right. What about omnipresent or ever present? And what that mean? Present in all places at all times. Present in all places at all times. All fills all space and place. Everywhere. So has unlimited power and authority, possessed of universal or complete knowledge, and is everywhere. Shout out to my bro Cosmon Kruger, the cloud kicker, Cosmon Cow. When he tell you breathe in, let the light in, yeah. Creator's everywhere. So if the Creator is omnipresent or ever present, the one you call God, who you praying to, right? Everywhere, you dig, and filleth all space and place, drop a 6,000 in the chat. Yeah, let's work. Let's work. You know what I mean? We ain't here to kick cans and hold hands. Nah. Shout out to the homie Nina boy. We ain't here to kick cans and hold hands. We're not here to shoot the funnies with you. No, we're not doing that. Nah. Get your God on the chopping block and let's see if it can withstand the light of the Creator. That's it. And if it can't, that just means you've been wasting your time. We're here to give you something greater. See, we ain't just taking nothing away or chopping something down and not even, look, we telling you, look, the creator or the maker of any God you've been praying to is the Almighty. That's who you reserve your reverence for. The creator, not the creation. That a child can understand that. So what we got so far, all powerful, unlimited power, authority, all knowledge, possessed of universal complete knowledge, everywhere, omnipresent or ever present, all place and space, present in all places at all times. And next we got invisible or unseen. Now, incapable. Look what it says. Incapable by nature of being seen, not perceptible by vision. So if the one you call God or the Creator or the Almighty, has that God been seen ever? Does it have form and figure? If the one you identifying as God has been seen at any time, then guess what? That ain't the Creator. Why? Because the Creator is invisible, unseen. Drop a 4,000 in the chat if the one you call God or Creator or the Almighty is unseen. Incapable by nature of being seen. Because the Creator is not in form and figure of any creation that he ever created. Drop a 4,000 in the chat. So this is what we got. We just to start off with a few characteristics. Just to start off with a few characteristics. All powerful, all knowledge, filleth all space and place and unseen. Just to name a few. And to be real with you, there shouldn't be anyone listening that would argue against that. Because if whoever you call God don't line up with just this right here, then guess what? You ain't been praying to the Creator. Oh. You know what's funny? The actual deity that most people was worshiping is the actual book that's talking about the deity. It's the actual book. Even though I've said nothing wrong, right? I didn't even water Creator down. I'm saying Creator is all powerful, no weakness in him. So anything I read that questions or come against that, you dig? I look at it as suspect. So I may read something that says that God couldn't do something because some more of his creation had chariots of iron. So God couldn't drive them out. I got to question that scripture, that verse right there. What you mean he couldn't do it because they had chariots of iron? Is your God almighty or all powerful or not? Is he strapped with unlimited power or authority or not? How come up with this and you run and you fumble Bible in front of him? How? Don't Bible admit that the God is omnipotent? What are you arguing about then? Wouldn't the Bible agree that the Creator, who you call God, knows all? Then what are you arguing about then? But there's nothing to argue about. What about omnipresent? Everywhere. Well, at least in your mind, you believe that, right? And then invisible, ain't been seen ever. But look at this Bible, John 1:8, John 1:18. Watch this. Watch this right here. John 1:18. What did the Messiah say himself? John 1:18. No man have seen God at any time. No man have seen God at any time. Look, y'all, I didn't write the book. I just read what was in it. There's no reason for you to be mad at anyone bringing out information or a higher understanding in this hour. After all, I agree with him. If you saying God is the Almighty or the Creator, then yeah, ain't nobody ever seen him then at any time. No man have seen God at any time. Do you disagree with Yahshua or not? You agree with him or disagree with him? I'm saying if you're saying God is the Almighty, is the Creator, then yeah, ain't nobody ever seen him, man or angel. Mad at me for? Okay, John 5:37, and the Father himself which have sent me have borne witness of me. You have neither heard his voice at any time, nor seen his shape. We got a problem here. Now you double down, you ain't never seen him. So who was the one these niggas said they saw back in the times of old? Who is that everybody said they saw? Abraham saw him. Shout out to my young brother Prince who walked to Zoryak right into a guillotine. He didn't even know that Abraham saw the Lord. Who you calling the Creator, the Lord? Yahweh, Jehovah, Yahweh, Yahuwah. Abraham saw him. Genesis 18, verse 1. Jacob wrestled him. Said he saw him face to face. He not only wrestled him, he beat him up. He won the match. He prevailed. Moses saw his hind parts, his backside. Ezekiel song, Isaiah song, Daniel song, Enoch. If you're into the book of Enoch, he song. So it ain't Malaki Macabee or Creator Gang. None of y'all got a problem with. Yahshua said ain't nobody ever seen him, ain't heard his voice, and ain't never seen his shape. You got a problem in Bible before you come talking about what I got going on. Yahshua saying, oh, that's hogwash. No, ain't none of y'all ever seen my Father. None of y'all ever heard his voice. None of y'all seen his shape. Huh? I'm in agreement with Yahshua. You think it's mad at us? Huh? What is it? Because he's saying something that's a total polar opposite to what we're reading in the Torah or the Tanakh. He is. Because if there's stories of men seeing them face to face, wrestling with them, eating with them, eating some oxtails, and we got a problem. Because he's saying ain't nobody ever seen him, heard his voice, nor saw his shape. So now you're at a crossroads. It's like, okay, well, dang. The Bible do say that these men of old saw him. It did, but Yahshua is saying ain't nobody ever saw him. So now we got a problem. Either you try to make Yahshua say what the prophets are saying, or you be real with yourself and say we got us a contradiction. And if ain't nobody seen him, who the hell was they talking to? Look, this deal is swing one or two ways. It swing both ways. Either you're gonna try to make this mean what it's not saying, or you got to be real with yourself and say we got a problem here. The scripture is conflicting. It contradicts itself. You got a problem in Bible before you even ever try to come climbing over here or barking up this tree. You got to deal with that. Has anybody ever seen the Father, who you calling God, who you believe to be the creator, or not? Have they seen his shape? Have they heard his voice or not? Look at this right here, John 4:24. God is a spirit. And they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Everyone, if not the majority in this chat, agree with each other and with what the Messiah taught 2,000 years ago. The unseen, ever-present God. If any time during this presentation your spirit is in disagreement with what you already agreed upon, do some spiritual inventory. Why would you take offense if your spirit is in agreement? There's only one reason you would be offended at what you agree about. There's only one reason you would be offended at what you agree about. There's only one reason you would be offended at what you agree about. That is deep down, you've been compromised. The spirit you've been entertaining this whole time is actually in opposition to the omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, and invisible creator. Let's get busy. Hey, so if you agree with these characteristics of the creator, all powerful, all knowledge, fill all space and place, and is unseen, has never been seen. Because the creator is not in the form and figure of any of his creation. If you agree with that, if you agree with this, y'all drop a vortex in the chat, man. Y'all drop a vortex in the chat. I already know. Negroes get mad and, want to throw hissy fits. Negroes want to throw hissy fits. Let's get a creator's praise back. This is in Bond's Book of Praise, chapter 5. You know what I mean? We give all praises and honor to who it is due, the creator, the God maker. The God maker. Easy money. Let me grab this water real quick, man. Hold on. Easy money. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Easy money. Somebody better tell these young boys that I dosed this. Everybody know what it is. Everybody know what it is. But you dig? Well, I bumped into the. Hey, you know what's crazy? A lot of these cats wasn't messing with me in my darkness. If I was to bump into the old me from 8 to 10 years ago, boy, I'd have unarmed my ass so quick, set me right on down. If me right now would have ran into the Mally that y'all couldn't even deal with when I was in my darkness, man, I'd have unarmed my ass real quick. Set him right on down. This light is undeniable, man. All right, let's get it. Now look at this right here. Let's get it. Let's go ahead and read about some praise to the Creator, right? So it says, chapter 5 binds praise. It says, sing to Jehovah or to the Creator, all you living. Proclaim his love which he gave to all. Everyone that loves to live on, to not die. Or the weeping and wailing when your kin goes down in death. Your call to the Almighty to prolong yet a while the time of your love. Or to hear the song of him who is dead. In Jehovah's, in the Creator's praise is the well of your anguish. Your great sorrow, the love of the Almighty, the fountain of song and paradise. Sing on, O earth, Jehovah forever. Oh, if I could answer them, Creator, if I could show them your fullness, which surrounds, which encompasses the universe, to show them the testimonies of the thread of your love, I will have my discourse with you, you ever present. You ever present. Look what this say right here. It say, I will immerse my soul in the harmony of your loves. You, the fountain and source of my contemplation. You who are all my Creator, who gave me judgment and perception to search into the magnitude of your creations. Who shall frame a song or find words to Lord the Almighty. You are the throne and the empire. Your footstool is the sun, moon, and stars. Oh, if only, hold on, y'all. Hold on one second. Dang, look at that. You got a whistle there. Hold on. Give me 1 second, fam. How do I do this real quick? Give me 1 second, fam. All right, fam, I'm right back at it. Give me 1 second. 1 second, right here. All right, here I was. I was on this one right here. So note what it said right here in verse 5. It says, I will have my discourse with you ever present. I will immerse my soul in the harmony of your loves. You, the fountain and source of my contemplation. Talking about the Creator, right? Now look at this. It says in verse 6, you who are all my Creator, who gave me judgment and perception to search into the magnitude of your creations. Who shall frame a song or find words to Lord the Almighty? You are the throne and the empire. Your footstool is the sun, moon, and stars. Or if only I may prolong my vision of you and pursue the thread of your creations. to the fountainhead, you without a boundary where all things utter your praise forever. So you got dude in here pouring out his not just his love, but just his all of who we call the Almighty. Hold on one second. Right here is the next one. All right, we about to go to this what's called this book of light. All right. Give me 1 second, man. Make sure I okay. Dang. Dang. This was a presentation we did not that long ago. All right, pull this back down for y'all. Please forgive your brother. All right, now watch this. All right, so this is out this book of what's called the Book of Light or Nothing. All right, let me zoom in so make sure y'all can see this. So y'all can see some of this. All right, so it's just chapter 1 and 1. Now trip off some of this. It's like these are the words. Now remind you, we already agreed that who we calling the creator or God is all powerful. That's where you get the phrase omnipotent from. All right. So naturally, everybody gonna agree with that. Knows everything, so omniscient, right? Omnipresent or ever present, which means fills all space and place at the same time, and yet unseen. Ain't nobody ever seen. Like John 1 and 18, no man has seen God, nor heard his voice, nor seen his shape. All right. So what we're gonna do now is get some more clarity on the matter. All right. Now watch this. That's crazy. All right. These are the words of Oranothon. By your light and dominion, O Creator, peace and goodwill to all men with faith in you and forbearance toward one another for your glory. Amen. Now watch this. Watch how this deal start cooking. It say, I do not come to abridge liberty, but to give more of it to you. So this ain't about taking any type of freedom from you or, forcing you to believe anything. Look, if you hear it and it resonate with you, good. If it don't, you got every right to keep looking. You know what I mean? Like nothing should be forced like with your arm or your arm twisted behind your back. You know what I mean? It should never be that. Look at this right here. It says, but to give more of it to you with love and wisdom so that the resurrection of men becomes established on earth as it is in heaven. He whom you worship under different names or diverse names, placing him far away, I declare to you his actual presence. And I pour to you much praise and thanks if you worship in truth, fulfilling his commandments, acknowledging there is only one God, even the Creator, Lord Jehovah. Now watch this, verse 4. Whether you say Brahma, Brahma, or Buddha, Buddha, or Christ, Christ, or Allah, Allah, doing so in reverence to the Almighty, our Creator, practicing good works with all your wisdom and strength. Even so, do I proclaim your good deeds in heaven. So you got people amongst various religions that still are genuinely at the core good people. That's what it's saying. It was like your works still get proclaimed in the heavens. You know what I mean? The righteousness or the good you do towards someone. You know what I mean? Now watch this. For all of these saviors, gods, and religions are the Father's buildings to bring his children into ultimate resurrection for joy and glory within his kingdom. So wherever you at in life, in your spiritual walk, you shouldn't feel ashamed or any of that. It's saying that whatever path you came through to get to understanding who your maker is, that was the plan the whole time anyway. You naturally gonna have questions. You go to school when you're young and you tell your short leggers ask questions. You know what I mean? Now, so why is it when it comes down to your spiritual life, you can't ask no questions about nothing? Make that make sense. Now look at this. Now what you just read or heard was that every path you chose or came through, spiritually speaking, was the Father's plan and to bring you into a higher understanding of who he is. You see? So that means we all family. We shouldn't even be arguing about, you know what I mean, none of these matters. Look at this. Therefore, I do not come to take from you any of your gods or saviors, nor to abridge your field for practicing righteousness, but rather to show you a greater glory in comprehending all of them in the plan of the Almighty to reach the different peoples in all the parts of the earth. Right, because we all his sons and daughters, right? But your path spiritually was just a building block, a stepping stone. You weren't never supposed to just stay there. You're supposed to keep it moving. Look at it. Pleading with you to be charitable to one another and more comprehensive in your judgment, putting away egotism and professing among yourselves that such of you alone were favored of the Creator. He letting you know, put egotism away too. We know far too well with somebody that's egotistical and what that means. We know far too well what that is. Like, let that go. First thing in his living presence, I declare to you that he is now, always was, and ever shall be present in all places, worlds without end. There should be nobody that even disagree with that. It shouldn't need nobody to disagree with it. Of course, who you calling God should be ever present. Fill all space and place. Why you got to go to any, like a box, an elder, a priest, a building to get understanding about who created you? So right here, this is saying his living presence, I declare to you that he is now, always was, and ever shall be present in all places. So you can breathe in right now and experience your making. You see? And then it says worlds, plural, without end. Look at this. Doing by virtue of his presence. So life is lifing because the Creator's presence is always active. That's how life is lifing. All right. Doing by virtue of his presence, quickening into life and moving all things onward to a wise and definite purpose. Whose presence is, check this out, everywhere. You see? Whose presence is everywhere and boundless. So you can't contain the maker of worlds, the makers of sun, moons, and stars in any type of box or spine-bound book. He's too massive for any of that. But it's letting you know that his presence is everywhere and boundless. They don't know the extent of the Almighty. Look at this, verse 11, that all the living are his sons and daughters. Who got a problem with that? Hold on. Who got a problem with that? Watch this bird. Cats keep messing with my stuff. Right here. Verse 11, that all the living are his sons and daughters, that none are as orphans, but all have a father. Part and parcel of your flesh and spirit is he, even the Creator. You see? So this ain't, put out there to scare anyone. It's to let you know a greater glory. You may have had questions all your life about whatever it is. I mean, most of us been going to church our whole life, or was raised in some type of temple. You know what I mean? Got people in our family that's highly religious, spiritual, whatever you want to call it. So naturally, everybody got questions. That's natural. You shouldn't feel ashamed about it, or I don't feel like I'm worthy. Like look, you got questions about life. Who done figured it all out? You're gonna forever have questions about how things work, how things move. You know what I mean? What it's like when we get there, and this, and I wonder what this is like. Yeah. Look at this, verse 13. Into whose harmony you are like keys, the one instrument, with whom you can become as one by practicing his commandments. That only in this way is there peace and happiness to any person on earth or angel in heaven. Second, this also I declare to you, that if you have put the Father far away, saying such as there is a divine law or there is a natural law, This shows you do not comprehend the living presence of the Creator, but profane him and his works. For there is no divine law, nor is there a natural law, but all good things are accomplished by the living presence of the Creator. Life is life in because the Creator's presence is everywhere. That's what they're saying. There's no say, well, you know, there's natural law, the sun come up. No, there's no natural or divine law. Life is life in because the one who authored life, presence is everywhere. That's what this is saying. But all good things were accomplished by the living presence of the Creator. Things commonly called evil being done by striving or fighting to go against him. Look at that. So what you know is evil in the world is simply someone of his creation fighting to go against, you know what I mean, what it is, what the truth is, what the light is. 19. Third, that Creator has not finished his creations and retired from his works. That where you have said he tired or he rested from his works, you have let yourselves fall through errors of language into profaning or profanation of the Almighty. The Creator never stopped creating. You didn't get tired and go to sleep and take a Geritol nap or none of that. The Creator never stopped creating. Yeah, even the scientists will tell you today that the universe just seems to keep expanding. Gee whiz. You think. Look at what it said right here. This is how cold you'll make it. It say, for he is also master over all weariness. Really don't get sleepy like me and you, yawn, get stiff and lay down and put on your long drawers. He don't do none of that. Creator is master, for he is also master over all weariness, and is his own everlasting rest and unrest beyond the comprehension of mortals and angels. You can't even really fathom the Almighty. After all, you said he got tired and then rested and went to sleep or stopped. And this is saying I ain't never stopped. How could you argue against it? How could you argue against him being master over all sleepiness, weariness? That makes sense. I get sleepy. I get tired. I yawn. You understand? No. You talking about the Almighty. Look what it said right here. Verse 21. He is forever bringing together, creating, and forever dissolving and dissipating worlds without number. See? So he's forever bringing together or creating. Maybe. So what you mean he stopped? Who told you he stopped? That means he got sleepy. Look at this. Illimitable in soul and spirit, forever quickening into life from his own parts. So there is no limit to the soul and spirit of the Creator. The Creator is forever quickening into life from his own parts without loss or waste, like we have lost and waste every day, right? Or lack of space, and without hindrance. Ain't no holding them back. You can't even argue with any of this. But I'm saying what the Creator is illimitable. There's no limit to his soul and spirit. What you gonna say? There is a limit? What you gonna say? He can be held back? That he does have waste and loss? How do you argue against this? Look at this. Fourth, that the Creator Jehovah is the soul of all, and that you are like independent atoms of his person. That deal say atoms. ATOMS, atoms. Good night. Dang. How then can any man say, behold, my people are the chosen of the Almighty? He has singled out my people to go forth and redeem the world. 25. I proclaim all people his people. I proclaim all people his people. So we ain't even got to come with the racial superiority
you know, the ego, or, you know, I'm the chosen and you not. Huh? I proclaim all people his people. When I say also, go forth and redeem the world, but not with words only, nor by the sword, nor by armies. Dang, that deal say no by armies, destroyers, but by peace. And love, and providing remedies for the poor, the afflicted, helpless, and distressed. And that's another thing right there. Like this, it say we're supposed to be providing remedies. Instead of complaining about the poor or the diseased or those who are less fortunate, we're supposed to be building systems that, you know, eradicate the poverty, the crime, the disease. In other words, we're supposed to be doing something about it, not crying about it, or necessarily voting for somebody to handle our business. We just supposed to be handling our business. You know what I mean? Oh, if y'all get some understanding, y'all drop a 12,000 in the chat. CGG is still cooking. Let me check the chat real quick, man. Make sure y'all cool up in here. What's going down? What's going down in the chat? Matter of fact, play a little music real quick. Let y'all enjoy a little taste. And then we gonna keep on with this presentation. We got a little taste. We're gonna keep on with this presentation so y'all can see what's really going on around. Probably 12,000 in the chat to get some understanding so forth. Real easy to understand. Real easy to understand. I'll provide some remedy. That's what it sounds like. CGG still cooking. Y'all done had to put somebody in timeout. Y'all done got the Cali Connect mad around here. What's going on? What's going on? All right, let's get some more understanding. All right, y'all see the topic, open chop session, Deity danger. Ooh-wee. Type of topic make somebody get mad at you, boy. That's what I tell you. Yeah. Ain't no crumble in me though. All right, hold on. Put on this way. Background music off. Little taste. All right, here we go right here. We about to get into this book of discipline. You see? Better get into this book of discipline real quick. Chapter 1, book of discipline. And then it goes into how who everybody called God reveals who he is. What's up? Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, we good. It's all good. You got both of the jokers with you. Hey, come here, little joker. What's good? Come on, come get knuckled up. Look, he already know. Yeah. I did. Little joker. They give you the runaround, ain't they? Yeah. You know me. I get it cracking. Whenever I can, I get it cracking. I don't be playing no game. Hey, tell them little jokers they gotta behave. They finna be clowning. How y'all doing today? Please don't mind me none. I'm in the middle of doing something. All right, so look. Hold on, make sure I'm sharing this. Let me make sure I'm sharing this deal. Hold on. Hold on one second. All right, so entire screen. Here we go, right here, bang. Bang. All right, so let's get into this right here. See, it really ain't even much to argue about once you just slow down, look. Man, that stuff be right here. Right in your face with it. All right, so right here, Book of Discipline, chapter 1. So it say, God reveals who he is. This is the word from the organic heaven. Hear the words of your God, old man. I am your brother. Get that. Arisen from mortality to a holy place in heaven. Prophet in my wisdom and be admonished by my love. So stop right there. Remember, this is who you identify as God, revealing who he is. And he telling you, contrary to popular belief, that I'm your brother and I was once a living man as well. Risen from mortality to a holy place in heaven. He tell you to benefit from his wisdom and be admonished by my love. So you're going to hear scriptures in the Bible that call men God sometimes. Called the priest God. You know what I mean? Called the judges in them Elohim or God or whatever. You dig? But this clears it up even more and lets you know that God is a one-time what? Man. That's why, you can hear people walk around and say, peace, God, or whatever, because God is what you become, or who you become. It ain't who you worship. It's who you become. Right? And right here, he letting it be known. Look, I'm risen. I'm your brother. I'm brethren. He ain't say he's your father. See that? I am your brother, risen from mortality to a holy place in heaven. Prophet in my wisdom and be admonished by my love. Verse 3, for as I am your elder, who? Brother. Your elder brother, so shall it be with you, to rise also in time to come and look back to mortals and call them to the exalted heavens of the Almighty. So God telling you, you read in the Bible where Jesus be like, the works that I do, you're going to do greater. God telling you right here, like, look, what I'm doing, you're going to be doing one day. My job is to inspire you to raise higher than what you already are and to be where I'm at so that he can move forward. You see, look what he say, for as or like I am your elder brother, so shall it be with you. Oh, wait. What I'm doing, you going to be doing. To rise or resurrect also in time to come and look back to who? Mortals. Those who are living, breathing, flesh and blood men, women. To look back to mortals and call them to the exalted heavens of the Almighty. That's powerful. What are you talking about? That's powerful. God saying what I'm doing, you're going to be doing. So then look what God continue to say right here. He say to Jehovah, or to the Creator, all adoration and glory forever. Amen. So you got God praising the Creator. The whole time we've been praying to a God or to Lord, and you got and heard God is actually giving praise to his maker, his Father. You remember when they asked Yahshua, Jesus, how to pray in the Bible? He said, what? Our Father, who art in heaven. He included himself in it, our Father. You see? And so God is doing the same thing here. He's giving praise and honor to the Creator. There's a difference between the Creator and God. If y'all understand that, drop a 3,000 in the chat. There's a difference. The Creator is your father or your all parent. You dig? God is a brother. God is a sister. He's a one-time living human. Man, whoa, man. There's a difference between the Creator, the maker of suns, moons, and stars, and any God that you've ever prayed to. There's a difference. All right, so notice what he say. He say to Jehovah, this is what God is giving praise to the Almighty, to Jehovah or the Creator, all adoration and glory forever. All life, motion, power, and things seen and unseen, or by and through who? Him. God say everything you can see and can't see. All life, all motion, all power, everything, seen or unseen, or by and through the Almighty. That's who we give our praise to. You see? Jesus told you in Matthew, the 4th chapter, you only supposed to serve the Almighty, and him only shall you serve. We in agreement. Look what he say. Neither is there an angel in heaven so high, nor sufficiently wise to comprehend the Creator in his entirety, nor to see him as you see your fellow man. See? So how you can look at me, or look at the next brother or sister, or look at your pastor or your elder or your priest or whoever. The fact that you can lay your eyes on him and he got form and figure proves he's not the Creator. Look what it says again. Neither is there an angel in heaven so high, nor sufficiently wise to comprehend the Creator in his entirety, nor to see him as you see your fellow man. Well, that would agree with what Jesus said in John 1:18. No man has ever seen God at any time, nor seen his form or shape or heard his voice. That's what Jesus said. This doubles down and say you can't see him as you see your fellow man. Well, why, Malachi? For he is within all, beyond and over all. Oh, hold on. For he is within all, beyond and over all, being ever present in all places. Look at that. What does ever present mean? Filleth all space and place at the same time. If you can fathom that, I mean, I think the closest thing you got to that is oxygen. The air you pulling through your nostrils, and wherever city you in right now, it's the same air they pulling or utilizing in Asia, Africa, South America, Russia, wherever they at. It's the same air. So the closest example you have to something being everywhere on Earth is oxygen. It's Earth. That's the closest example you can put your mind on to understand what ever present or omnipresent actually means. You fill all space and place. Look what it say. Doing by virtue of his presence. Life is lifing because the Creator's presence is there. Without his presence, none of this would be possible. Look at this. Quickening all the living, adorable above all things. As the sun is to the light of day, so is the Creator to the understanding of all the living. That's powerful. Like the day needs the sunlight, our understanding needs our Creator. Makes sense. upon which to contemplate is the road of everlasting life, rising in wisdom, love, and power forever. That sounds good. That didn't say rising in ignorance, hate, and weakness forever. It said rising in wisdom, love, and power for how long? Forever. Forever. Hear your God, oh man, distinguish then that the two, God and Jehovah, or God and Creator, are not the same one. Nor is your God more than what you shall be in time to come. Look at that again. When you read the Psalm 82 and 6, and it says, ye are all gods and children of the Most High. But you're going to die like men. They tell you right there. They tell you in the book of John, if he called them God to whom the word of God came, then the word can't be broken. The Bible actually called you God, but you're a man. Not that doesn't mean you're the Almighty or the Creator. You understand? It's just clearing it up and let you know that's what God is. God is a one-time man. He rose to the rank of a God or a Lord. God, man, and angel are the same thing, like water, ice, and vapor. There's different degrees of density, but none are the Creator. And that's what God is telling you here. Make a difference, distinguish between God and Creator. Then he said, your God ain't nothing more than what you're going to be in time to come. So God is who you become, not who you pray to. You pray to the Creator. Look at this. As a kingdom on earth has a king, and the king is nevertheless a mortal. So in like manner is the heavenly place of your God, a kingdom of angels, and the chief over them is God, an angel also. Good night, boy. Good night. Well, that's what Stephen said in the book of Acts, the 7th chapter, verse 37, 38, verse 53. He said it was an angel that gave y'all the 10 Commandments. They stoned him after that. There was agreeing, it's letting you know that God is an angel. They stoned that man right after he told you, like, look, that was an angel that gave Moses the commandments on the written with the finger of God and all that. Stephen in Acts the 7th chapter, really one of the first martyrs for the movement. That's what he told you. He said, ye received the Torah or the law or the lively oracles from the dispensation of angels. Look at that. Yet, nevertheless, the kingdom of your God embraces all the heavens of the earth. And it is also so with all physical worlds and their atmospheric heavens. A God and organic heavens belonging to each and all of them. Verse 20. Therefore, this is what God's saying. Therefore, I am like any other spirit of the dead, a one-time man upon the earth. A one-time man upon the earth. Even as you are in this day, but one within the organic heavens of the earth. So what is God? God declares to be a brother of man and reveals himself as a one-time man or an ancestor. God gives all praises and adoration to the Creator, his maker. God reveals the difference between God himself and Jehovah, the Creator, or the ever-present, the Creator. If y'all understand that, if y'all got some understanding on the difference between the Almighty, who we call the Creator, and a God, y'all drop a 2,000 in the chat. Let's talk about it. Let's see. And I talked to somebody the other day, and they was talking about idolatry or whatever. But I asked them though. I said, "What is an idol?" And something like that. Paused her. She was like, "Well, I'm like, well, I mean, in order you blame or call something idolatrous, should you know what an idol is first?" You did? Sis really ain't know. Look, let's talk about it. It ain't to make you feel, short up top, but let's talk about it. So what is an idol? We can go right to Merriam-Webster. Gotcha. Hold on. What is an idol? Source, Merriam-Webster's dictionary. Right there. Idol. All right, what is it? It says an object of extreme devotion. An object of extreme devotion. Example, a movie idol also. It says a representation or symbol of an object of worship. Broadly, a who? A false god. Hold on. That deal say likeness of something, obsolete, pretender, imposter, a false conception, a fallacy, a form or appearance visible but without substance. Source. We just go into the Bible dictionary, the blue letter, right? Right here, knows what it says. It's Samael, from an unused root meaning to resemble. Likeness, figure, idol, image, statue, idol. Eidolon, from an image likeness, i.e., whatever represents the form of an object, either real or imaginary, used of the shades of the departed, phantoms of the mind, etc., the image of an heathen god, a false god. Okay, let's make it a little more easier. You know, those are a lot of words, right? Right out of the book of Safar, the golden chamber, or Ospi. It says, question, what is an idol? Answer is anything having form and figure that is worshipped. So if you can see it, it's, or it has been seen, and it is worshipped, it is an idol. Remember, the creator is unseen. No one has ever seen the creator. Jesus said that, John 1:18. No man has ever seen God, nor seen his shape, nor heard his voice. So to keep it simple, an idol is anything that has a form and figure. Anything that is seen, that is worship. Has been seen and is worship, is an idol. But Lord, what else? Hold on. What else we got right here? Okay, so we keep hearing image, right? In essence, if it can be seen, if it can or has been seen and it is worshipped, then your deity is an idol, aka a false god. Let's look at what an image is. We keep hearing image. Look what image, right out the Bible dictionary. Zelim. It says from an unused root, meaning to shade, a phantom, i.e., figuratively illusion, resemblance, hence a representative figure, especially an idol, image, feigned show, right out of the Cambridge Dictionary. Image is a picture in your mind. What is an image? A picture in your mind or an idea of how something or someone is, the way that something or someone is thought of by other people. A mental picture or idea that forms in a reader or listener's mind from the words that they read or hear. So an image is something that's in your mind, based off either what you read or what you heard somebody say. There's an image that forms in your mind. An idol is one of the main definitions is an image. Dang. Well, all right, so let's get into it some more. What you say, kid said, man, can I please get a copy of this so that I can go deeper after the live? Please, yep. Just send me your kids. You just email me. Yep, just send me your email. The name of this, this channel, Honor Humility STL at Gmail. So the name of this channel that you on at gmail.com. Send me your email. I'll send the presentation right to you, sis. It's all good. Easy money. Now remember, an image is a mental picture or an idea that forms in your mind based off something you heard or something you've read. All right, let's go read it. Look at this. This look familiar right here, don't it? It should. Based off what we got Revelation 1 right here. Revelation chapter 1, 14 through 15. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like undefined brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. That's Revelation 1, 14 through 15. Remember what an image is. An image is a picture that forms in your mind based off what you read or based off what you've heard. We got white woolly hair. eyes as a flame of fire. You know what I mean? Skin the color of brass or burnt brass. And this is an image that forms in your mind based off what you've read or what you heard. So it don't look like a strung out hell's angel or nothing. Of course, that sounds like a dark-skinned, angry brother with woolly hair and got the whites of his eyes is red. All right, and he ain't speaking in his inside voice. He said the voice is sound of many waters. So we speak very, very powerful with a lot of authority. But this is an image that forms in your mind based off what you read. You see? Let's get some more. Let's get some more. Watch this right here. This is Daniel 7, 9 through 10. This is a vision Daniel had. The first one was Revelation. Chapter 1, 14 through 15. This right here is Daniel 7, 9 through 10. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands, that means millions. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were open. This is an image that forms in your mind based on what Daniel said he saw. You see? The Ancient of Days, he sat on his throne, white woolly hair, and he had millions, hundreds of millions of people around him. Ancient of Days and the Son of Man, Daniel 7, 9 through 28. Remember what an image is. An image is a picture that forms in your mind based off what you read or heard. Let's look at this one right here in what is this, Revelation. Hold on, kid. It's real easy. All you gotta do is just slow down. Slow down, look at what's going on. You be like, oh, okay, I get it. So it's right as Isaiah 6, 1 through 2, and then verse 5. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. Above it stood the seraphims. Each had 6 wings. With twain he covered his face, with twain he covered his feet, and with twain he did fly. Then said I, woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips. Now I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. My eyes have seen the King, Yahweh of hosts. So Isaiah is saying, so we got Revelation saying that he saw white woolly hair, burnt skin. We got Daniel chapter 7, verse 9 through 10 about the Ancient of Days, white woolly hair. We got Isaiah right here, and Isaiah saying he saw him sitting with his own eyes, sitting on the throne. You see? Look at it. That's that right there. And then this right here is Revelation 4. Oh man, hold on, y'all. This right here, what y'all little jokers talking about? Y'all want to wrestle? You want to wrestle or something? Yeah, that's Sonic. And that's Knuckles, yo. I'm gonna get y'all little jokers in a minute. What you know about Knuckles? Knuckles, you want a knuckle sandwich? Listen. Little joker. You want a knuckle sandwich, little joker? You gotta let them short legged. So this right here is Revelation 4, 2 through 4. And he say, and immediately I was in the spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. And he that sat was to look upon like a jasper. He that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone. And there was a rainbow round about the throne, in sight like unto an emerald, and round about the throne were 24 seats, And upon the seats I saw 420 elders sitting, clothed in white raiment, and they had on their heads crowns of gold. Now look at this right here. That's that one. This the one in Revelation 4th chapter. All these are images that gets formed in the mind based off what you read or based off what you heard. We got physical descriptions, but in every last one of them, there's a deity sitting on a throne in the form and figure and likeness of a man. No matter where we going, that's what we seeing. That's what we seeing. Look at this. And it. Remember, an idol is a likeness or an image of devotion. An image is a mental picture or an idea that forms in the reader's or listener's mind from the words they read or heard. If you can see it and you worship it, then it is an idol, or what you call what? A false god. Watch this. It ain't just right there. This right here is the judgment hall of Ma'at for anybody that's into the Commission spiritual system and all that, or the Egyptian. This right here is Osiris and the judgment hall of Ma'at. Now this green guy all the way over here to the right in spandex, sitting on this box right here, is supposed to be the chief deity in Egypt. But no, this is what he's doing. He's sitting on a throne. He's in the form and figure of a man. This right here is from the judgment hall of Ma'at. You know what I mean? If you know the whole breakdown, this is about the afterlife. And if your heart ain't light as a feather, you get ate by this hideous alligator head dog right here called the Ammon. If it is, you get ushered before Osiris, this game green deity right here, and you get to live with him forever or roll around with him forever in his fields of reeds. That's your reward for being a devout Osiris worshiper. But that's the god right there of Egypt. The main deity is Osiris, who you call Sor, and he's green with spandex on. Now, I didn't write it, draw it. I ain't do none of it. It's just the truth. Look what it say right here. It say the Hall of Truth. But I mean, it's the same. But it's the same setup though, right? In the form and figure of a man, the deity is, and it's sitting on the throne and it's worship. Osiris over just waiting to collect souls. See? Now what it say? It say the Hall of Truth often referred. The Hall of Truth, often referred to as the Hall of Ma'at, or the Hall of Two Truths, is a central concept in ancient Egyptian afterlife beliefs and mythology. It's the location where the deceased's heart is judged to determine their worthiness for the afterlife. Look at that. Look at that. Really? Really? All right, watch this. Who else we got? And look, the source up there is worldhistoryedu.com. That's where we get this judgment hall of Ma'at from. All right, so we always put our sources up there. So y'all don't think we just licking our fingers and coming up with this stuff. This right here is source. It's right on Wikipedia. El deity. Look at this. El. They call this slope-headed monstrosity right here the father of gods. This dude, right here. And look, but look, same as with Osiris. And all the deities we were speaking about before Osiris, El is in the form and figure of a man, and he's sitting on the throne. He's sitting on a chair. So now you got to start asking yourself, are any of these deities the creator, the maker of suns, moons, and stars, the creator, the God maker, the Almighty? You did. And if you be real with yourself, you be like, oh, hell no. There ain't no way in the world. How? Look at this. Let's read about El. And this is an actual God that was worshipped in Canaan. El. Right there, right? Look at this. El is a Northwest Semitic word meaning God or deity, or referring as a proper name to any one of multiple major ancient Near Eastern deities. Although El gained different appearances and meanings in different languages over time, it continues to exist as Il or El in compound proper noun phrases such as Ishmael, Israel, Samuel, Daniel, Raphael, Mikael, and Gabriel. Originally a Canaanite deity. Hold on. Y'all be thinking I be lying. Show y'all how we get out. I mean, we got the receipts. Look, that deal say originally a Canaanite deity known as El, or Al, or El, the supreme god of the ancient Canaanite religion. El was listed at the head of many pantheons. In some Canaanite and Ugaritic sources, El played a role as father of the gods of creation, or both. This jackal right here. Huh? Can you see it? Was El worshipped, or is El worshipped? Yes. And El has been seen. That would make El an idol. No more Osiris an idol. Right? Any of these deities that you can see and you've been praying to, you dig, that means it's not the creator. Greater is invisible. You can know no one has ever seen. Jesus said it. No man has seen God, nor seen it, heard his voice, nor seen his shape. I'm in agreement with that. So that means all these little images right here of those purporting to be or pump faking like they are the creator, are lying. All right? And the whole deal of it, and the whole deal of a so-called God is to what? To capture your soul. So they can further augment their kingdoms. Nah, trick no good. We ain't even falling for that. Look at this. Just in case you think El wasn't worshipped in the Bible. Look at it. Eventually, El's cult became central to the ethnogenesis of Iron Age Israelites. But so far, scholars are unable to determine how much of the population were El worshippers. It's more likely that different locales held different views of El. Well, let's go into the Bible and show El worshipped in the land of Canaan by the Israelites and their forefathers. Look, Genesis 14, 18 through 20. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, which is Jerusalem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High El. H410. That's the word for God there, El. Verse 19. And he blessed them and said, blessed be Abram of the Most High El, possessor of heaven and earth. Verse 20. And blessed be the Most High El, which have delivered your enemies into your hand, and he gave him tithes of all. So, yeah, this Canaanite priest right here, Melchizedek, whether you saying he's a Shemite or whether he was a Hamite or whatever is being said, whether you're saying he was Shem, whatever. The fact of the matter is he was a king of Jerusalem and he was a priest of El. He was a priest of El. There ain't no getting around that. Right? Now look at the H410. This is the actual definition. It's shortened from 352. Strength is adjective, mighty, especially the El, almighty, but used also of any what? Deity. Look what it says over here. Great idol. One, power, strong. Compare names in El. I go to Genesis 33 and 20. And he erected there an altar and called it El Eloi Israel. Jacob erected an altar to El. Look, Genesis 35 and 3. And let us rise and go up to Bethel. I will make there an altar unto El, unto God. H410. El, who answered me in the day of my distress and was with me in the way which I went. Look at that. Erecting altars and making altars to El. Who is El? That's who we just was looking at. What you mean who El is? There he is right there. That's El. El was worshipped in Canaan. Look at this. I think we playing. Look at this word. 35 and 7. He built there an altar and called the place El Bethel, because their God appeared unto him. Remember, you can't see the creator. Because their God appeared unto him when he fled from the face of his brother. Genesis 35 and 11. And God said unto him, I am El, Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of your loins. So that's El. Let's look at Yahweh. Look at Yahweh. Right here. Right here. Look like he got a Kango on. Look like he got a Kango on, boy. Got that fro sticking out the back of that Kango. Hey, boy. He got a little flavor on him, don't he? There's a little coin. This is a coin right here. This is a coin. The God on the winged wheel coin minted in where? Gaza City. So that's the land of Canaan. Southern Philistia during the Persian period of the 4th century BCE. It possibly represents Yahweh enthroned on a winged wheel. It has been described by Stephen Herbert Langdon as the only known representation of Yahweh or Yahweh. Look at this. Right there. And if you know the ancient Hebrew from right to left, that's the Yah, the Ha, and that's the Y on the other side of his head right there. Some say Yahweh, Yahweh. It just depends on, you know, how you pronounce it. But nonetheless, it's still what it is. A winged wheel. Nazarene is saying faith. You can't, boy, you can't hear me, boy. If I can be heard, y'all drop a 2,000 in the chat if I can be heard. Let me know if I can be heard. Let me know if I can be heard. A little taste. Yeah, this stuff be real simple, man. It's just, you know, we done got so comfortable. We don't challenge nothing. It's like whatever you identify as what it is, you, sir, yes, sir. You come right off the porch, tripping. Ready to crash out, crash and burn for the deed. I'm trying to be heard. Ah, okay, yeah. I can be heard. You just gotta, you probably gotta reboot your computer. That's probably what you gotta do. All right, so look at this. Look at this. I'm down before my back down. All right, now look what it say. It's like Yahweh was the ancient Levantine deity, worshipped in Israel and Judah as the primary deity, right here. You got El, then you got Yahweh, and historically speaking, they were two different gods. You know what I mean? They get conflated by, you know, later on when they compile in the Bible, they make Yahweh and El the same deity. You know what I mean? The Lord your God. You know what I mean? But historically speaking, they're two different gods, two different deities. Look what it say. It say Yahweh was an ancient Levantine deity worshipped in Israel and Judah as a primary deity and the head of the pantheon of the polytheistic religion of Yahwism. Though no consensus exists regarding the deity's origins, look at this. Scholars generally hold that the deity, who we say Yahweh, is associated with Seir, that's Mount Seir, Edom, Paran, Teman, and later with Canaan. So those are all that would make him an Edomite or a god that was rolling with Esau before he even got into the land of Canaan for the Israelites to adopt him or take on, you know what I mean? Because Mount Seir is where Esau is at. We all know who Edom is Esau. You got Paran, Teman is a grandson of Esau. So it seemed like Yahweh, who you call Yahweh, was amongst the Edomites before, you know what I mean, he even got into the land of Canaan and was worshipped there. You know what I mean? Look at this. The deity's worship reaches back to at least the early Iron Age and likely to the late Bronze Age, if not somewhat earlier. In the oldest examples of biblical literature, Yahweh possesses attributes that were typically ascribed to deities of weather and war. Fructifying the land of Israel and leading the heavenly army against the nation's enemies. The early Israelites engaged in polytheistic practices that were common across the ancient Semitic religions, as their worship included a variety of Canaanite gods and goddesses, such as El, Asherah, and Baal. Look at that. In later centuries, El and Yahweh became conflated, and El-linked epithets such as El Shaddai came to be applied to Yahweh alone. Characteristics of other deities such as Asherah and Baal were also selectively absorbed in conceptions of Yahweh. Dang, that's crazy. In monotheistic Judaism, the existence of other deities was denied outright, and Yahweh was proclaimed the creator deity and the sole deity to be worthy of worship. During the Second Temple period, Judaism began to substitute other Hebrew words, primarily Adonai, literally my lords. By the time of the Jewish-Roman wars, namely following the Roman siege of Jerusalem and the concomitant destruction of the Second Temple in 70 CE, the original pronunciation of Yahweh's name was forgotten entirely. Good night, source. This right here, let's go deal with Baal. Your Uncle Baal, another deity or false god. In the form and likeness and figure of a man. And look where he's, what is he doing? He's sitting on a chair too. He's sitting on a chair too. All right, let's get into this cat statue of Baal Haman on his throne with a crown and flanked by sphinges, first century. All right. Baal was a title and honorific meaning. It's a honorific. That's crazy. Meaning owner or lord in the Northwest Semitic languages spoken in the Levant during antiquity. From its use among people, it came to be applied to gods. Scholars previously associated the theonym with solar cults and with a variety of unrelated patron deities. But inscriptions have shown that the name Baal was particularly associated with the storm and fertility god Hadad and his local manifestations. The Hebrew Bible includes use of the term in reference to various Levantine deities, often with application towards Hadad, who was decried or decreed as a false god. That use was taken over into Christianity and Islam, sometimes under the form Beelzebub. Beelzebub in demonology. So Beelzebub is Baal. That's crazy. The Ugaritic god Baal is the protagonist of one of the longest surviving epics from ancient Near East, called what? The Baal cycle. There go your boy Baal. Hold on. Right here, it said the title Baal was a synonym in some context of the Hebrew Adon, Lord, and Adonai, my Lord, still used as aliases of the Lord of Israel, Yahweh, according to some scholars. The early Hebrews did use the names Baal or Lord and Baali, my Lord, in reference to the Lord of Israel. Good night, boy. You was calling the God of Israel Baal. Let's say that in the actual book of Hosea. So they ain't gonna call me Baal no more, or Baali. That is Hosea 2. Like 14 through 16, something like that. Man, that's crazy. It is. Who is this right here? Y'all done heard of Ashtaroth before? The goddess, Astarte, Ashtaroth, Semiramis, Isis, whatever you want to call her. It's all the same one. Look at her. Now, she in the form and figure. She ain't a man. She a woman. You can tell this is a woman right here. Look, but she's sitting on a throne too. Phoenician statuette figurine of Astarte from El Carambolo in Spain. See, so we keep running into these deities. Look what it say. It say Astarte is the Hellenized form of the ancient Near Eastern goddess Atar. Atar was the Northwest Semitic equivalent of the East Semitic goddess Ishtar. Astarte was worshipped from the Bronze Age through classical antiquity. And her name is particularly associated with her worship in the ancient Levant among the Canaanites and Phoenicians. Really? Really, though, she was originally associated with Amorite cities like Ugarit and Emor, as well as Mari and Ebla. She was also celebrated in Egypt, especially during the reign of Ramsesides. Following the importation of foreign coats there, Phoenicians introduced her cult in their colonies on the Iberian Peninsula. Notice, every last deity is in the form and figure of a mortal man sitting on a throne or some type of chair. Is the being known as God able to be seen? Is he ever present, omnipresent, or is he bound to one space at a time? The ever-present creator versus a localized deity. Who do you worship? Oh, man. Oh, man. Look at this word. It says, so what is ever-present? Ever-present for dictionary.com, it means always present, always there, omnipresent, ubiquitous. Right? Look at this. What is omnipresent? Present in all places at all times. What is localized? A transitive verb to make local, orient local. Really? Really? All right, here we go right here. Oh, no, that went too far. Dang, that's right there. I was getting some of this right here. Chapter 3, Book of Judgment. Oh, I spade. Y'all seen that that Baali before? That's right there in the book of Hosea. So you saying that shouldn't be nothing new. Right on there, it calls a symbolic name for who they call God. That's crazy. That's crazy. Judgment 3 and 6, you say, first I charge you that whoever says God, God calls in vain. I have not come to establish, but to abolish all God's lords and saviors among mortals. Wow. For what is past is past. But from this time forward, whoever hears my word and the decree of my commandment and continues to make an idol of any name, except the Great Spirit, blasphemes against his creator. Whoever cries out in fullness of heart saying God, God, meaning by that the ever-present, the creator, is not a blasphemer before me. So he was like, even if you're saying God or Lord or whatever you're saying, but in your mind you hold the idea that the creator is ever present, not in form and figure of any man, woman, angel, animal, or any of that. Like if you saying that, but you hold that up top, then you all good. You all good to go. You feel me? But if you saying that, but you mean like a man doing his own thing, sitting on a chair that you can physically see, embrace, do all that, then that's off right there. You feel me? So look at this right here. It say, but whoever cries out in fullness of heart, saying God, God, meaning by that the ever-present, the creator, is not a blasphemer before me. So he letting it be known, even if that's what you're saying. It's about the idea you hold up top. But that's all it's about. What idea of who you call your maker you hold up top, right? Verse 11. And whoever says or Maz, meaning the ever-present, the creator, is not a blasphemer. You see? So again, everybody say things differently. Some people say Jesus or Yahweh or whatever you're saying. It's really about the idea you hold in your mind about who you calling your maker. More than what you're saying. You see, because anybody, it tell you in the Bible, even the angel transforms into an angel of light. So if that's the case, if an angel transforms into an angel of light, then that means who you calling any type of bad energy or whatever can come appearing opposite of what you think. So that means the devil don't come looking how you expect him to look. He has the ability to transform himself into something bright. You dig? To where you can be deceived. right? So it comes down to what? The idea of who you calling God and what you hold up top. All right, so look at this right here. It says right here, verse 12. And whoever calls any name in any language that signifies the ever-present, the Creator, is not a blasphemer before me. So that's good. That's good. So we ain't got to get caught up into the, you from Mississippi, he from Michigan. You know what I mean? Everybody got different accents and say things differently or whatever. We ain't even got to get caught up in none of that. See? Because today people disassociate you, won't even deal with you because you may say God's name different from them. Or you may say Jesus' name different from them. You got people who won't even associate with you behind that. You feel me? And he's saying, but we reading right here where he's saying, look, that really, what you saying is irrelevant as long as what you mean when what you saying. Like you saying God, but you mean the ever-present, almighty, knows all, you know what I mean? Not weak at all. That's what you mean? Not informing figure of that. Oh, okay, well, you good. You know what I mean? There ain't no flag on the play with that. Let me see. 13. But whoever says Brahma, signifying a god in the figure and shape of a man sitting on a throne in heaven, is a blasphemer against Jehovah, the ever-present, the Creator. So we just saw a whole bunch of what? Different gods and deities sitting on thrones, from Osiris to Baal to El to Ashtaroth to Daniel, Isaiah, Ezekiel, all of them, Revelation, John the Revelator, all of them saw the deities sitting on a throne in form and figure of a man. You see, this right here is saying, as long as that's not up top with you and you're saying it, you're cool. But as soon as you get to thinking that somebody done saw the Almighty, like Jacob wrestled with him and beat him up, and he saw God face to face. It's like, well, no, if he, for one, he saw him. Two, he beat up the Creator. No, we're not even gonna play those games. And how can the Creator lose to his creation? Make that make sense. You dig? So you naturally gonna start questioning certain things because remember, who we call God is all powerful. We ain't stepping down off that. All powerful mean all power, no weakness. All knowledge mean know everything, no ignorance. Right? Ever present mean, fill all space and place, not localized. You know what I mean? Unseen is unseen. Like Jesus said in John 1:18, no man has seen God at any time. See? Well, that's the deal or the crossroads that creation is at. It's identifying, all right, who are we talking about when we say Almighty? You know what I mean? The Most High, God. Who is it you talking about? You talking about who they all said they saw, right? Or are we talking about something higher? You dig? That reveals that those who you've been devoted to are actually false. You dig? Look at this right here. Right here, 13 again say, but whoever says Brahma, signifying a god in the figure and shape of a man sitting on a throne in heaven, is a blasphemer against the Creator. And whoever says Buddha, signifying a god in the figure and shape of a man sitting on a throne in heaven, is a blasphemer against Jehovah, the ever-present, the Creator. So it's showing you that the Creator has never been seen, like Jesus said in the book of John. And it's all over the Gospels. It say nobody has ever seen him before. So if that's true, then when you read stories of people claiming they saw God or saw the Lord, you got to question that, because right over here he's saying nobody ever saw him. Nobody ever saw him, seen his shape, heard his voice. You dig? And that's a problem, because you over here reading certain things that say, oh yeah, Moses saw his backside. What's his name? Jacob wrestled with him. Abraham sat down and ate some oxtails with him. It's like, are we saying this is the Creator, or are these some type of deities pump faking like they are? Watch this. Let's say 15. And whoever says Christ, signifying a God in the figure and shape of a man sitting on a throne in heaven. is a blasphemer against the creator of all person. Good night, boy. That's nuts. Look at this. Look at this right here. And whoever calls on the name of any other man or angel, worshiping such as a god, is an idolater in my sight. So a lot of folk, like when I asked the sister the other day, like, what is an idol? A lot of folk really don't know. You've just been told, you know, whatever you've been told, you know, sound bites over your life. Like, okay, that's what an idol is. But when you straight up ask somebody, so what is it? It's an idol. Simple answer is anything that has form and figure that is worship. If you can see it or it has been seen, and somebody getting their kneecaps dusty bowing to it, it's an idol. All right, remember, the greater is ever present and unseen. Nobody has ever seen the Almighty. All right, look at this, 17. Nor do I judge them less idolatrous than if they worship stone idols or graven images. See? And whoever says deity, deity, and divinity, divinity, and divine law and natural law are judged to be in darkness. For I proclaim my heavens open and the way of understanding clear. The creator, Jehovah, is ever present. That means every word one time, and does by virtue of his presence and not by any law. So again, life is life in because the creator's presence is active at all times among us. So if y'all getting some understanding in the live chat, y'all drop a 4,000 in the chat, man. Let's keep cooking. Notice what it say right here. It say, notice if you hold an image in your mind about who is called God in the form and figure of a man sitting on a throne, it is idolatry and blasphemy against the ever-present creator. The great spirit is everywhere at the same time and yet unseen. Not in the form and figure of a man. Let me check this chat real quick, make sure y'all cool. Y'all ain't started World War III up in the chat. Y'all already kicked somebody out. Y'all over here clowning today. What is really going on? Make sure y'all good. No, it's not real good. I can't figure that out right now. So it's real fact. Man, just keep listening, kid. You know what I mean? Yeah, you late. You late. Tap in. Bang, bang, bang. Shout out to my brother 9 Lives Official. That's the word out. Yeah, if y'all been listening, man, it's just it comes down to just understanding what the character is of the Almighty. Once you know that, you can't be fooled, man. No matter where you swimming at. Now, what book you reading out of? I'm gonna tell you this too. When you're dealing with like even the mark of the beast, if you into flesh eating and warfare, you already marked. If you're into flesh eating and warfare, spilling blood, you already marked, right? It's crazy. Shout out to my brother Print Blake, the Shire, Dirty South is in the building. Birmingham, Alabama, what's the word out? Yeah, I see y'all in the building. Look at the FGK Capone. What's up, Art? All right, Kizzy, I got you after the class. Y'all know what it is. We in chapter 20, Book of Judgment right now. God declares a day of judgment, and he also bequeaths liberty to all men. Everybody, you got freedom, free will. Navigate and do what you do. Just whatever happens is on you. You ain't gonna be out here blaming nobody for nothing. You gotta take accountability of whatever happens. All right, because you've been given freedom. But with freedom comes what? Responsibility. You're responsible for your own. I think because all right, so this chapter 20 of the Book of Judgment. Let me see something real quick. Let's see where we at around here. Oh wait. All right, hold on 1 second, fam. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Let me look at this.
Jehovah is as near this day as in the time of the ancients. Put yourself in order, becoming one with him. And no book is so easily read as his created universe. Inspiration comes less by books than by what Jehovah wrote. His worlds read him and his works. Frame your speech and your thoughts for him. He will answer you in your own behavior and in the happiness of your soul. Great wisdom cannot be attained in a day, nor purity and strength to overcome temptation, till the growth is from the foundation. The fool will say, the sacred books are no more than man of his own knowledge could write. Yet he has not wisely imitated the power of the words of your God. Let him do this well, and behold, he will also declare my words are from me. Yes, he will recognize them wherever found. It is the will and wish of your God that all men become constitutionally capable of receiving and comprehending the highest life, and that they shall no longer depend upon any priest, church, oracle, holy book, or upon consulting the spirits, and that their behavior may make the earth a place of peace, with long life to all people, for the glory of Jehovah. To his Etherian gods and goddesses, Jehovah said, as you have founded arcs of light in my Etherian heavens, to determine the travel of my corporeal worlds, so shall my God of the earth inspire mortals to build lighthouses for man's ships that travel on the oceans, and those who travel in the ships. And those on the land shall know when a ship nears the port, even as you see my traveling earth approaching the place of Cosmos. For this shall be an illustration to mortals, that I have appointed cycles of times and dawns of times, with gods and goddesses to superintend my creations in tenderness and love, lest by chance man becomes despondent, saying, alas, Jehovah did not provide in wisdom commensurate with the magnificence of his creations. Behold, the time draws near when the nations of the earth shall course around the whole earth in ships, crossing the seas and oceans to all the places I created.